Hello, welcome to another very special episode of Brand Decoded Show. Thanks for tuning in. I know there was like a guy whose name I'm not gonna say, was like talking about like you gotta have a sword. You have to have a sword, like to be taken seriously as a man. Oh, a lot of malarkey. That's a whole lot of malarkey. I love my sword. It's a it's a Charlemagne replica, and it was made by one Spanish company that has tradition of over like 1,000 years making these swords. And we got it as a gift for doing a website for a client. So that's the reason why I have this sword. And it's also like a piece of history, as I'm a big fan of French history, and Charlemagne was a Frankish king. So I wanted to start off that with a lesson, like, oh, I got your attention. There's a guy with a sword. I'm not that kind of guy, even though I have like similar vibes. That's what people told me, but no, I'm not exuding that kind of energy. I want to talk more about regular stuff, like how to make your life better. Granted, I'm tired today. It's not. I woke up at 4 a.m. So it's been a ride. Everyone who knows me knows that I work way too much, and that's one of the things that I was like, this is about to end. This grind into death from overwork is coming to an end. We're definitely kind of switching the tide as a company, and I'll always do work out of a habit. I like work. I really genuinely love what I do. Just sometimes feel like there's like way too much, and that's something that's gonna be phased out eventually. So the problem of overwork, you first have to identify overwork as a problem. Until you change your mindset and start thinking about working too much as an issue, you're gonna keep doing it. There's always next dollar to be made, and it never ends. But I started phasing things out by taking my time and letting entropy take its course. Right? I'm gonna do what I can do, and we're not gonna do past that. And if it means that I'm gonna lose some money as a byproduct of that, so be it. I'm gonna put on my plate enough, but not too much. And a year, myself from 10 years ago, I was like, you're crazy. You gotta go grind, gotta get that next dollar. And me of today, I'm more thinking about the long term, like zooming out and thinking about the perspective of taking care of myself for the long haul. Because you can't really be there for your business if you're not there, if you're just burnt down to the ground, if you're feeling tired. It just doesn't make sense, right? So that's a mindset shift that you yourself have to make. You have to decide that you're not going to work as hard. But there's a cheat code for this where you can keep growing your business, you can keep growing your revenue while you're just maintaining the usual workload or even a reduced workload, even if you're an agency owner. And the way you go about it is if you start delegating things in a proper way and designing systems where you can follow up. The problem sometimes with delegating, you start delegating and you don't pay attention to what you delegated out, and what happens because you're like working too much, you start seeing that other people are slipping. They drop the ball. The thing is, one of the things that I've noticed is that when I'm paying very close attention to no one slipping, that means that I have enough time. So if you're paying close attention to other people not dropping the ball, it's more like a managerial sickness that I have, right? If I'm doing too much, I can't ensure that other people are doing their part. So I have to have ample amount of free time to probe even those that are managers within my own company. And that's how the system remains healthy. So the business owner has to have enough time to check the health, to poke its systems, holes, like left and right, poke those holes, poke that system, and ensuring that everything's tight. You poke, and if it's soft, you put pressure there on the employee, on the management team, on everyone, and that way you can strengthen your system because you will see where there are weak points within your organization. In order for you to do that as a business owner, you have to have, you have to have free time. Free time is the essence of wealth creation. Without free time, you do not have time to think. And if you can't think, you can't grow rich. The book may be like a cliche at this point, but you need to leave yourself ample amount of free time to generate thinking for yourself and turning that into wealth. You have to understand that wealth is being created in your mind. Hard work is never going to make you rich. Or it would sound better if I'd said, hard work will never make you wealthy. Rich people can be broke with time. They're time broke. They have so much money, but they have no time. The best and ideal medium is having lots of money and lots of time. Then you can create further wealth. Like you start growing exponentially. You just start growing by making deals that absolutely make sense. And I think the last year we doubled as a company, which was like astonishing accomplishment, while I had enough free time to think about the next steps. And that's where the whole master plan for 2024 and what is unfolding now is actually happening. It was a whole year of mental masturbation and preparation for me to start doing videos. And look at me now. I'm just doing videos, raw dog, no edits, just publish out there and see what sticks. It's like 180 subscribers in like 10 days, 2 weeks. It's moving. People like this format, and that's why I'm creating these videos, because people ended liking it. It would never happen if I didn't have that last year. So I want to break this mental sickness that is forcing people into absolute total hustle when we have so much technology that is going to allow us the leverage that you don't have to hustle. You can think and make money. Think, make audience. You don't have to grind. It can be very naturally flowing. And I don't even know how I didn't put myself in this position way earlier, because hustle. I just like felt this action bias being forced on me in a certain way, because I was thinking that that's the epitome of success. Like all successful people hustle, so I should hustle super hard. I think that hustle does need to happen, but with properly organized team of good quality people, everyone's workload can be balanced and you can reward people based on their results so that no one gets burnt out. Like every time I have too much work on my employees, some of them burn out, and then I have to start hiring again because someone's like taps out and wants to jump out of the system, right? And then you have to get the new person. Not always a bad thing. Sometimes happens because I'm probing too hard and I want to replace someone. That does happen. But when you have a balanced system and people and employees have an optimal workload, they tend to stay longer with your company and produce for you on a longer period of time. That's why a serious business, when it's properly optimized over time, the dependency on you is diminishing. And you start just like observing and building standard operating procedures that are allowing your company to explode. that's it what I have for today. Not that very high energy, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you start your own business. Have a good one, guys.